What is up, everybody, and welcome to episode 29 of the J&J Dating Dynamics podcast. I am Jay. The guy over there next to me is Jay. And today we have special guest Samantha joining us. But first, Justin, how you doing, buddy? What are we talking about today? This is all you today. All you.
This is all me. All right,
all
let's
you.
go.
No pressure.
I'm ready. We got Samantha on the line today. Thanks for joining us, Sam.
Thank you for having me.
So me and Sam connected over a social media post.
Nice.
I can't remember off the top of my head.
Wait, actually, hang on. Sorry. Before you keep telling us, everybody, I forgot to mention, go ahead and do what the sign says right now. Hit that like button. If you haven't yet, go ahead and hit subscribe. We are live on 2 different channels. We got J&J Dating Dynamics and we got J&J Dating Podcast. On the podcast channel, that's where the live shows stay and live. On the Dynamics podcast, it airs live, but then we take it down and then we upload clips. We've been uploading clips all week, so make sure you're subscribed to both. All right, sorry, I interrupted, Justin. Go ahead.
All right, all good. So like I said, me and Sam met last week over social media, and we had a very good back and forth. Due to mine and your communication, we were unable to get her on last week. Would have been great because we had Donovan Sharp on.
It would have been fantastic.
But it's all good because we got her on tonight. I got a bunch of videos lined up that I just sent over to Joelle. I'm in scramble mode, guys. If you notice, my background is different because I've been moving this whole weekend. Joelle just got a little background upgrade. I got a little downgrade. So I'll be readjusting for the next couple of weeks.
Yeah,
but,
you no longer have to stare at my kitchen behind me.
But we definitely have some awesome videos that I want us to react to and share our opinions on them. I don't know what Samantha's schedule is. We normally go for an hour, but if she's
I'm here. I'm available. You guys got me.
All right, if she's up for it, we might go over an hour tonight.
Yeah, before we do that, guys, on Instagram, I put it up on my story. I don't know if Justin did on his, but go ahead and come over to the YouTube side. That's where it's all happening. That's where you can actually hear Samantha. So come on over to YouTube right now.
Gotcha. So let's ask Sam. Let's get a little bit more information about you. If you want to share anything, your age, location, your dating status.
So I am married. I'm 36 years old. I'm married. I have 2 boys from a previous relationship, but my husband also has children from a previous relationship as well. And we, Justin and I had found each other in the comments of a video that was on, I believe it was TikTok or maybe it was Instagram. And it was in regards to the topic of like passport boys and toxic femininity and stuff. And it really just turned into this rabbit hole that just, it can go on and on and on if the people participating are on the same page as far as like how everything is connected, you know, and I had shared some of my perspectives on it, you know, because I feel like, you know, I can speak from my personal perspective and my experiences, but I'm not afraid to speak the truth about my upbringing and how I believe it has a direct, you know, effect on my adult life and my dating life and you know, my dating history and stuff. And it's just, I've noticed that women my age just do not want to take any accountability for their own failures in the dynamics of relationships and marriage and stuff. And it's just, it's hard because, you know, we are living in a society right now where everything that is toxic to a healthy relationship is what is trending right now, you know, and the culture and the lifestyle that women are empowered to live is exactly what is eroding the relationship dynamics in America to begin with.
Very interesting. Before we continue, I want to shout out Jay Blaze, who's in on the chat. Jay, welcome as always. Guys, if you're on Instagram, we're going to log off here off Instagram in about 3 minutes. So go ahead and come over to YouTube. Check out my story, Justin's story. The link should be up there. Sorry, Justin, go ahead.
Well, no, back to what she was saying, and I was like, I totally agree, and I just think that there's a way bigger problem. Like she just said, she's married, right? But look where me and her met. We met having a discussion on social media about the dating game.
Right. In the comments
I mean?
under a video, that, and it's, man, it's crazy. The comments, like, I don't, and the whole reason why we even started talking on the issue is because the video itself was, it was a girl of like Asian descent of some kind.
Yes.
And they were talking about how, a lot of the Western men are, the passport boys situation that's going on right now, where men are leaving the United States to go to, quote, third world countries, right? Because they're finding women that align more with what they're looking for in relationships. And it's I said in the comment of that video is, it's a rabbit hole, because you're talking about 50 years of toxic femininity being pushed in an agenda. You're talking about the destabilization of the household. You're talking about the fathers being removed from the household, and it goes so deep. And now the result of all of this stuff, that this huge psyop that we've experienced our whole lives and watched so many people be affected by, is now you have overly masculine women who want to be treated like men, while also getting the perks of being treated like women without earning those perks by performing their duties as women anymore.
That's good to hear that perspective from the side of a woman. But Sam, let me ask you, you said your upbringing and your background kind of shaped your views on modern society and modern women. Tell us a little bit about that upbringing.
Hold on really quick before we get into that. Hold that thought, because I just wanted to address something really quick. Because I have people in my personal life, my own family members, my own cousin Vito, calling you out. But no, even females around the area. I am not doing this because I have a problem getting girls. There's a problem out there with good women. That's not the issue, getting women.
Are people giving you shit because they think you can't get girls? That's why you're doing the podcast?
Yeah. So I just want to clarify, there's a whole big world out there, and this is going on worldwide. Yeah. Like, Sam, you're married, right? And you obviously see that there's an issue, which is why you're here speaking tonight. So just to clarify for the haters out there.
The thing about that is, and I've gotten haters before in my life, not with this podcast specifically, but and I don't know who's hating on you, but probably it's people who live more of a quote unquote blue pill lifestyle, who still believe in things like the soulmate myth and all these things. Yeah. And it's the guys that Donovan was probably talking about last week, who they think they're winning, but they're really married to westernized feminist American women.
Absolutely.
Or they themselves can't get a girl, so they're kind of projecting on you.
But what about the guys that don't stand where me and you stand? What about the guys that are way low on the totem?
Those are the guys that are invisible to most people, let alone most women.
What about the girls that are out there slutting it up? I'm hoping that they see this. This is why we're doing this.
They probably won't, but they're all out here at spring break right now. They're like 3 blocks away from here. Sorry, Sam. Go ahead and tell us a little bit about that upbringing. And sorry, I don't know if you mentioned it. You even want to. Where are you from?
I grew up in Compton, California. I was born in Long Beach, grew up in Compton, California. And then after high school, I joined the military and I served in the Army. I went to Iraq, I went to Afghanistan, and then I got out in 2012.
What was your MOS?
I was 31 Bravo. I was military police. Okay. And the reason why was because at the time when I enlisted when I was in the process of enlisting in 2005, the closest thing I could get in that was closest to like combat arms was MPs, because at the
Yeah,
time
yeah.
they were pretty much trying to rebuild the Iraqi and Afghan pretty much justice system and law enforcement, and so they needed cops to go over there and help train the Iraqi and Afghan police. So
Yeah, no, the MPs used to do a lot of combat missions over there. I
yeah,
was a combat medic myself in Iraq and Afghanistan. So.
awesome. That's awesome. Yeah, and you know, I'm a 6'2" woman, you know, and I was a gunner in Iraq, and so
Yeah.
I had the pleasure of getting pulled on a couple, you know, handful of really dope missions because they needed able-bodied women that could do searches, because they had just taken the ability to search the women away from the American soldiers. And so only female soldiers could do the searching. So I got to do a lot of really cool stuff when I was in.
Nice.
And then when I got out of the military, and you know, it allowed me the opportunities to work in the defense contract world that I have.
Mm-hmm.
But the thing is I work in a very male dominated field. You know, there's not a lot of female engineers.
Can I ask you a question about that?
Yeah, go ahead.
Were you able to adapt to working around men? Did they adapt to working around you? Or did you grow up having older brothers or male influence in your life?
Now, see, back to the topic of my upbringing. The thing is I was raised in nothing but a female household. My grandmother raised me and my sister. My mom was around, but it was just all women. We didn't have a lot of men. You know, our dads were never around. Grandpa wasn't around. Grandma did everything on her own, you know. And so I was bred in this perfect feminist environment, right? And so growing up, I saw my grandma do everything on her own. She had that mentality that you hear a lot of these modern women here pretty much speak of now, that I don't need a man. I can do it on my own. I'm independent and I don't need you for nothing. Like, that was the mentality that I was raised to have, because it was a survival tactic. It was look, you know, you don't want to get left on your ass by some man, so don't ever depend on one. You should always be able to fend for yourself. You should always be able to provide for yourself, because if he ups and leaves you, then you don't have to worry about your life being disheveled. And when you're a teenage girl and this is the life advice that you're being programmed to understand, what kind of relationship do you think you're going to develop with men? You know what I mean? Like it's exactly what you don't want to teach a young girl, that, you know, because you have no perspective of what a healthy role or a healthy position a man is supposed to have in your life.
So how were you able to overcome
Hang on,
growing
sorry,
up like
Justin.
that?
Before you ask that question and Samantha answers it, let's go ahead and come off the Instagram. Guys, if you're on Instagram, come on over to YouTube. There's only a couple of you, but check out my story, check out Justin's story, and hit us up on YouTube. It's all happening there. See you guys.
Yep. All right, so we're off IG. All right, so like Sam, like I was saying, like how, if you grew up like that, how were you able to overcome?
Let me tell you, it was not. I wouldn't proclaim myself as a success story per se, because it has been an up and down lesson for me. I'm not on my first marriage. The marriage that I was in with the father of my children didn't go well either. But the thing is I believe that, and I'm at an age now, and I can reflect to a certain point now where I can see where the relationships went wrong in my past and how I contributed to the failure. And
see, that's key right there, because most women will never admit or never able to see how they contributed to failure.
Right. And that's honestly no way to live. Like to you know, to dodge responsibility, you know, at every chance you can. There really is that's no way to live, you know.
Let me ask you something, Sam. Can I call you Sam?
Yeah, yeah.
All right. So do you agree, or do you find like I do, that was your first marriage? Was that when you were in the military?
No, well, I had just enlisted in the military. He was, oh man. So I met him when I was 15 years old. Okay. I met him when I was 15 years old. He was 18.
Okay.
And again, we're talking about uh uh I was raised by my grandmother. My grandmother was married when she was 14 years old. Okay. So
Oh
at the
wow.
time, nobody involved saw anything wrong with this, right? This
Right.
is a normal thing. It was normal to her growing up. It was normal to us because as teenage girls, we're taught that, if you're going to talk to a man, he needs to be able to do A, B, and C and D for you. And if he can't do all those things, then what is he going to do for you? Or, what do you need him for? So
Right.
again, it's that toxic feminist mentality
Yeah.
that was taught and taught down to me and my sister, right? Me and my older
Yeah.
sister.
Yeah. So what I was trying to get at is, did you see this? Because in the military, I always thought marriage was kind of treated like a chew toy.
Well, see, yeah, and I joke. I always say that, when you enlist in the army, they issue you one divorce,
Yeah,
at
pretty
least
much.
one
Exactly.
divorce, and
Exactly.
it's
Everybody
because
gets married and they do it for the money.
I mean, it's very incentivized, right? And it's like you're already a young adult being thrusted into this adult world that is the military, and if you join during a time of war,
Even more
that's
so.
even more
Yeah.
pressure. That, look, you're an adult. If you're sending me to Iraq, if you're sending me to Afghanistan, and I'm fighting your war, I'm an adult, and I should be able to play the role of a grown woman or a grown man, and or play house with the person I love and be
Sure.
shacked up with them. And so they incentivize it in the military. They allow you to move on post with each other, and it's nice. But um at those ages that we see the divorce rate so high in the military, do we really know what we're doing in our young
We
20s?
really
No, we
don't.
don't.
If I think back to my early 20s, even my mid 20s, or even late 20s, I didn't know shit.
Right, like, what the hell did I know about marriage when I was
Exactly.
25 years
But
old?
see, that's the problem. They spend millions of dollars training us. They trust us to handle weaponry and all kinds of multi-billion dollar or multi-million dollar pieces of equipment. You would think that they could trust us to really handle an adult life, but no.
I mean, you know what? Like, I can look back as a 36-year-old. I can look back at my 25-year-old self and tell you now that, if, like, no, I wasn't ready for half of that shit that I was
Mhm.
doing, or being asked to do. But it's something that you end up having to heal yourself over after the fact, because the reasonings behind us having to do what we did when we were in the military, that's a conversation for another day. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? Like,
yeah, that's a whole deeper
Hey,
issue.
yeah, yeah,
Sam, I
yeah.
got a question. What
Yeah.
age do you think women these days are not ready themselves, but actually mentally ready and willing to like take on a man and the
See,
commitment?
and there's no right answer to that, because it all depends on the individual, because you can have a female from the ideal environment that had a perfect examples of what a man and a woman should be under one roof, had good parents. All the conditions can be set to be perfect, and so that individual might thrive at 24 or 25. Like, I know
Mhm.
people I went to school with that are still with their high school sweethearts and have been married for going on 20 years now, and they had it in them. You know what I mean? They were designed to be able to, to
Yeah,
a long-term relationship like that. They're going the distance, right? But
gotcha.
then you might have someone that doesn't come from that background or has
A lot
traumas,
of
and
them.
so
Yeah.
it's really hard to say women are good at this point in their life, because every single person is a completely
The
different
only
case.
reason I ask, and I know it was a very general question, is because there's a lot of other podcasts right now in the manosphere where men typically prefer, and this is done from ages all the way from 20 to the late 60s, men prefer women of the same age, and it's usually, what is it, Joel, like 19
18 to 23. 18 to
And
23.
I disagree with that.
Well, what age
I
are
don't.
the men that you're asking?
I don't. I just said it could go all the way.
There's this whole concept frame to where a woman is in her prime between the ages of 18 and 23, maybe up to she's 26. A man is really in his prime between 32 and 40. So those ideally should be the marriage ages.
But the only reason I say I disagree, because I wouldn't suggest men go out there and find women in their prime ages to settle down with, maybe to start a relationship with and see if you can go the distance a couple years.
Yeah.
But to be honest, I feel like if you get a young girl, 21, 22, and you're in a relationship for a couple years, if you don't pop the question with a couple years, by the time she's reaching from her early 20s to late 20s, I feel like something
she's
changes.
Gonna find a better option.
You change a lot. Exactly. Yeah. So me personally, this is just my personal opinion. I would recommend finding a partner later in their 20s, from 25 to 30. If you're going to stay looking in your 20s, I'm saying.
Well, like Sam said, it's all up to the individual. But
absolutely right.
I think in generalities, I think that's probably a good rule.
But me and Sam had this conversation when we first met, and this was through Instagram. She told me straight up, she's like, "You're looking for women in the wrong places." I was like,
yeah,
well,
definitely.
I happen to live in the wrong places: Miami, New Jersey, New York.
Absolutely.
Like,
and that's the thing is, you're going to, depending on where you are, what region of the United States you are, is going to be the type of woman that you're going to get more of an abundance of. Because if you go into some of these more like blue states and stuff, you're going to find a different type of woman who has a completely different list of requirements based on what the morals and the values of the women in those regions carry. But if you go into more like rural America, where women are very different, they're going to look past a lot of those requirements and they'll look for something else in a man, because their expectations are much different.
So do you think maybe we don't need passport bros? Do you think maybe men just need to leave the coasts?
Let me tell you,
travel inward.
I believe so. I believe so. I think I've seen a lot of successful stories where men have traveled to these country states and found girls that were more well-rounded as far as like their moral compass goes. You know what I mean?
Look, I don't doubt that you can find those gems out there in the countryside, but I think overall, especially the sexual marketplace and the relationship marketplace, has been globalized to a point where, especially younger women, I don't care where you're from, you could be at Oklahoma, but girls going to Oklahoma University, they're just as bad as women going to NYU or Miami.
And that's because of the age group that you're talking about right now.
Right, but by the time that's the thing. That's the thing. By the time they're tainted by the 4-year college system, I think they lose all that whatever.
They're already bitter and resentful.
They've
already been walked over by a handful of guys that
they're all ran through.
Well, no, it's not even that. It's women don't choose to, there's a song by Rihanna, it's called Good Girls Gone Bad, right? And it really is, there is a moment in every young girl, there's a moment where something really jacked up happens to them. They get their heart broken by somebody, or something happens, and that's what flips the switch. And these girls that otherwise would be like, the ideal, females in these relationships, they're not that anymore, because they're hurt. And
that happens to both men and women.
yeah, definitely.
See,
definitely.
The thing I don't like about that is, here we go again with women failing to take responsibility. So that's essentially, that song, I'm not saying you, Sam, I'm saying the song is assuming that a woman enters the whole phase because of a man. It's again blaming the men for the status of women.
That's it's you can't make a blanket statement because it's not always what happens. I can definitely attest to the fact that I don't believe that if
Women
I
are
wouldn't.
are now the new fuckboys. Modern women are the
Yes,
new fuckboys.
I heard that statement the other day, and I was
Yeah.
like, that's a very appropriate statement, and it is. Modern women are carrying themselves like how fuckboys were carrying themselves, and now they are so outraged at the treatment they're getting, and it's like you're carrying
Yeah.
yourself just like these douchebags that you guys used to cry over like 5 years ago.
Yeah.
Bro, I don't
Justin,
even
I think we need to get to these videos.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. I was gonna say I don't even like some of the stuff. I be scrolling sometimes and I see these girls, they're half naked, but they're not a model or anything. And it's just like, you're a regular girl. Like you work at the bank. What are you
They're doing it
doing?
for validation. And
Like, all right, so nice
before,
introduction to you, Sam. Getting to know you a little bit more.
yeah, before we do that, guys, if you're watching live, please do us a favor. Even if you're not watching live, if you're just watching, hit the damn like button. We're not here for
Please.
a freaking help.
And subscribe.
In fact, you know what? We're not saying another word till you hit the like button.
I can't bite Pearl style, but what can I say? If you watch more than one episode, if you watch two or more episodes, I can't say what she says, but I can say we're gonna fight.
Yeah. All right, Justin, what do you want me to
If you
bring up
watch
first?
more than 2 episodes, subscribe, like, please share, let everybody know there's a major problem going on.
Justin, what do you want me to bring up first?
What do you think? Should we watch that really important one that I said?
Yeah, I say let's do it.
All right. So Just Pearl got together with an awesome panel, and Melanie King came on. And
wait, that's not the one. The one you're saying is the one at an hour and 14 minutes?
Yes.
Got it. Okay.
So this is important because it's women talking on women, and I feel like me and you, Joel, we can talk till we're blue in the face, but we need the voices of women to be heard. And for them to understand the concept, we need more women in the space. And I love what she's saying. Let's check it out.
All right, here we go. Wait, hang on. All right, this is the one, right?
Yeah.
All right.
Your children in the house. What more do you want? You got the car. You can go where you like. You can fool the man because what all he cares is like, getting his balls emptied and getting his belly full.
How many women can take a picture of their house right now? If I told you right now, take a picture of your house, every room in your house. I want to see how it's organized, decorated, and I want to see it. Is it a hot ass mess? Does it look like a trap house? Is it like a crash site? Is your mattress on the floor? You're worried about a bag, but you're home.
I'm gonna say most of them will say it's a hot mess.
How many girls' apartments have you been into that were just this? Bro, I went to a couple girls' apartments in Miami and I was disgusted.
Oh, I worked in corrections with females in the military, and females
are nasty.
They're worse than men.
Y'all are nasty. We walked up in the female barracks a few times.
I had to smoke I had to smoke my females on our deployment. When we were on our way to our deployment in Afghanistan. I had to smoke my females because somebody kept leaving their nasty bloody tampons on the floor in the latrine. And I'm
telling you, man, women when left to their own devices, they're nasty.
Anyway, this goes on for a minute. Let's hear how vile she gets.
Dwell, you're in the street. If you live in the streets, if you're about that life, you're not taking care of a home. You don't really care what's going on in there. We've seen these videos on YouTube, and you have to say to yourself, like, I'm not making a home. Like, what man wants to come home? And my home smells ratchet. A lot of women, your pH balance.
I'm
just gonna say this because we're gonna be out here. We out here, right? Like we're talking about sex work. Like
Hey,
how
pause
many
it.
men right
Pause
now?
it. Can I
Yeah,
caveat off of
for the
this?
record, I have not watched these. Justin just sprung these on me, but
Yeah,
I'm a-
and I wanted you to see all these live to get your like raw reaction.
Let me
She's
give you
calling it out what it is. Like
exactly. Okay, so you have seen a increase in feminine products just in the last 10 years alone, and that's because they have pandered sex so much and made it such a normal thing to just, casual sex. It's nothing now. Everyone has casual sex,
Yeah.
right? And the thing is with a woman's pH, when you have multiple sexual partners, your body lets you know, listen, there's just way too many germs and there's too many different bacteria in me right now. I don't like it. A woman's body is not designed to accept
thank
multiple men inside of her. So instead of society teaching this to women and saying, listen, the reason why you stink, the reason why you're burning and itching and you keep having all these issues is because your
It's
body
because
doesn't
you're the town
want,
cum bucket.
right? Like your body does not want all these foreign fucking meats inside of you, right? But there's no market in that. There's no market in teaching women that you need to carry yourself a little more privately and don't share
No.
yourself
But
with
you got
just
the feminist
anybody.
movement out there trying to say, oh, preach women's liberation. And
Yeah, but half of the shit
body
they
count
sell
doesn't
you,
matter.
all that half of the shit they sell us as women that are supposed to be quote unquote feminine products are poisoning women and literally causing cervical
Facts.
cancer and shit.
Facts.
with
Y'all
that
need
in mind, I
Jesus.
want to go ahead and share the sponsor of this video. It's Defense Soap Body Wash.
Y'all need Jesus. Seriously.
Oh boy.
So yeah, but that pH balance, look, if your pH balance is off, something's telling you, there ain't nothing right. And
Seriously. Let's keep
All right,
going in on this.
Yeah, let's get back to this. Hold on. Oh, crap. Hang on.
Notion has been the set.
My bad.
It's all good.
Okay.
And I'd like
thought just takes that because the impact of a negative thought, the
Where we
emotion.
at?
to teach
Hang
women
on,
that you
hang on.
she was
feel
saying
that
that's
I'm
why
That was on me. My bad.
Like
all good.
Pearl,
get them.
Auntie Jen
your womb has been ran through.
Pull it back.
It's been it's plan B.
Mm.
A lot of these women, your ass stink.
Yes.
Stink.
And you don't even, you think this is cute.
No,
You don't wear
not cute.
perfume. You think you just spray some body spray.
Get
You
'em.
don't even know how to clean. You're not hygienic.
Get
Let me
'em.
tell you something. I ain't got to take a shower for a week if I chose not to. Listen, my mother, because she taught me, you come around my mother and she's 74. She has no body odor.
Nothing.
From head to toe, she has no body hair.
And
Why?
that's because
she
our
was taught how to be
grandmothers
a woman. Right now,
weren't
it's about
using all the toxic chemical shit to cover up all the nasty things we were doing behind closed doors.
Seriously.
They were carrying themselves just slightly better than what we are now. And so they were eating more natural shit.
Mhm.
They were wearing more natural shit.
Seriously.
No, like you look in women's showers today. It looks like a fucking pharmacy just in the shower.
Yeah.
Not even the medicine cabinet makeup area.
But that
Just
has
the
to
shower.
do with the marketing. Like that's
yeah.
you're talking $1 trillion market to they're selling us 6 different things that do the same thing that one bottle of shit does for you guys.
Sam, remember this for later. Well, you just brought up marketing. I have a really good point, but I want to keep going with these videos.
Okay.
being sexual, but not how to be an actual woman and have your womb clean. Your womb has been ran through. It's been it's plan B. It's Planned Parenthood. It's been ran through so many sticks inside those walls. And I want to say this in a way not to criticize you, but to understand you have been degraded by the street. The street has once your mind gone. They want you ran through.
Like
she thinks it's hilarious.
It's so disgusting how she's laughing at herself. In all honesty,
yeah.
Like I understand it's what you're seeing is a defense mechanism. Is she's hearing something that is sitting really badly in her spirit, and she knows that it applies to her, and her self-defense mechanism is, I'm gonna laugh like an obnoxious asshole and try to belittle what this woman is trying to say to me out of love.
Yeah,
seriously.
or try to play it off as funny so that other people.
And
don't take
it's
it too
not
seriously.
that's not funny
That's actually
whatsoever.
a common debate tactic. I worked in political debate prep for a long time,
Oh yeah.
and a common debate practice is you smile and kind of laugh at your opponent's point, not to laugh at their point, but you say, oh, the way you framed it was funny, but just the laughing kind of insinuates that it wasn't a serious point. Anyway,
Right.
sorry, let me keep going.
Right.
Let's keep it going.
With vaginosis, they want you going to the clinic. I ain't got to take a shower for a week.
What happened?
If I chose not to, I will.
You went backwards.
Listen,
Yeah, I went back like
my
10
mother,
seconds.
because if she taught me, you come around my mother, she's 74. She has no body odor.
You went back.
From
Yeah, no,
head
just
to toe,
fuck.
she has no body hair. Why? Because she was taught how to be a woman. Right now, it's about being sexual, but not how to be an actual woman and have your womb clean. Your womb has been ran through. It's Plan B. It's Planned Parenthood.
Just watch.
It's
It
been
went back
ran
like
through
15
so
seconds.
many sticks inside those walls. And I want to say this in a way not to criticize you, but to understand you have been degraded by the street. The street has once your mind gone. They want you ran through with vaginosis. They want you going to the clinic. They want you taking the medication. They want you on Plan B. Why? Because your mothers have failed you. Your fathers have failed you. The society has failed you. But there are women like me, like Pearl,
Auntie Jenny.
like Auntie. No, I was gonna say it. And Maggie, the substitute teacher,
love her.
where we say we love you. We know you've been failed, and it's not a judgment on you. We want you to win. And we're trying to give you the cheat code so you don't have to be out here like these other women and struggle. Take this mess off. You don't need all this on you. Like you got your nails done, your wig fixed, you got all this done. I go to the bathroom after you, your ass stank, girl. That BV is BVing.
Hold on. Keep playing this. No, keep playing it. Keep
I just
playing
want to
it.
say two things. Right?
Not the Bellevue.
I want to say two things. Is that when it comes to the arse stinkiness, size doesn't matter because the skinny bitches smell just as bad as the big
Just as
ones.
bad. It does not
Right.
matter. It does
And
not matter.
The second thing I want to ask is
she smells perfect.
the young lady next to the Irish lady. I want to know it's a joke because she was there telling us, like, giving everybody information, and everybody else was listening, and you were killing yourself laughing. I want to know what was so funny because I didn't get the joke.
I'm just a giggler.
No, but
I'm just a giggler.
She's a clown. That's what she
so
is.
she was talking, and you were just rolling around giggling for no reason.
Could you tell me specifics, and I could probably.
I'm talking about BV, something
I'm
that's
just
very
saying,
serious for women.
all the
Bacterial
time.
vaginosis caused you to be sterile. Because Brittany Renner talked about how she had 3 men down in 1 week, and she had a nasty yeast infection.
Okay,
no
that's
hope.
not-
You
that's not
had
nice.
chlamydia and you had gonorrhea.
No, that's
Let's not
nice.
call it. No, it's not nice. I don't care what's nice.
No,
We're
no,
talking
no,
about
no.
facts.
I'm not saying it's not nice.
If you busting it open and you taking 3 dicks down, like, let's be adults. Like, there's nothing nice about you
I'm
taking
not-
3 dicks
okay.
down in your throat.
And then,
and
and
your
then
body.
what happens is when when you operate that way and you do catch some shit, then the first thing that female will do is jump on social media and start dragging a fucking man saying these dirty ass dick dudes fucking gave me something, and it's so fucking pathetic, bro. I'm so tired of seeing it.
She says something. I don't know where it is. I think it's coming up.
Obviously,
Where is it?
you can catch BV without having sex. You can catch.
Stop the cap. Stop the cap.
You can.
Stop.
I'm
I
telling
know you
guys.
can, but y'all are taking down dick
No, I
like
just
it's
found it
never been
funny.
seen in the world before.
I just genuinely found it funny. That's all.
BV was never this important because women had a man and they were not running the streets. Y'all got yeast infections running up the streets. Like I said, I will take, and I'm not trying to be nasty, but we can go to the bathroom right now.
Let's do it.
And I'm
Keith, listen to this.
I'm not about to get lost.
Nothing will be left.
No.
And listen. If we're talking
Are you
about
trying to do a taste test? Like what you doing? Like,
no, if we're talking about sex forever, we're gonna go that raw. I feel like I have to speak in that way. And I don't say it to put you down, but understand you have been failed as a woman. As a young woman, your mother has failed you.
Wow.
You ran through, your walls are ran through and bust through, and you are dealing with diseases and everything else, and you're dealing with infections. And when I go to the bathroom after a young woman and your ass stink, like, I'm sorry.
Yes.
Like I should never go to the toilet. I go to any restaurant right now. I go to the mall, restaurant, and your butt stink. Man, you have been failed.
Hold on one second. Pause that.
And what she's
I didn't know this.
about-
Hold on, Sam. I didn't know this. I'm a man.
Yes.
So is
now,
she
what
saying
she's
you go to
talking
the
about,
bathroom
it's not-
and when a girl leaves, you can still smell her?
Listen, what she's talking about is not like when you walk into a bathroom and someone just like dropped
Take
a
a shit.
juice and you're like, damn, it stinks in there. No, there's a distinct coochie smell that bitches will leave in the bathroom after they've already left the facilities, and it
You know what?
lingers there.
All I gotta say after watching that is I am very, very happy. Thank you, God. I am so happy. With that.
Keep playing it. Keep playing it.
How long is this thing, dude?
I just want to
over the video.
I just want to finish this point and then we'll switch it up.
All right.
That is up to judgment. Now, I'm not saying you, but you can't judge if you're at like we are. And I'm just like, good God, girl, what is going on? Like, and I say that because who was your mama that did not have you keeping yourself clean as a woman? That, guys, I want the men to tell me, is personal hygiene and smell of a woman
priority?
Is that she can be the baddest?
Yeah.
Hey, bro.
And
It's a non-negotiable.
And it is.
I actually had that issue like 3 or 4 years ago.
If you expect a man to put your damn genitals in his mouth, the least you can do is wash your coochie. I don't understand how is this a big request?
Even then, you don't have to put your face anywhere near it, but you can smell that shit.
Yes.
Like, I mean,
you can smell yourself. You can smell yourself. You know what I mean? Like if it's the end of the day and you've been to the gym and you wanted to hit the grocery store before you went home and you're like, oh shit, I need to go home and shower. Women, we can smell ourselves. So if you know for sure that everyone around you can smell you too.
Yep, absolutely. All right, Justin, should we move on to the next one?
If you want to, sure.
All right, the next one is a short.
What do you guys think, though? I think she's got a valuable lesson there.
There is a valuable lesson there, absolutely. I mean,
dude, our bodies are a representation of everything we put in it. What you're eating, what you're putting on it, like, and if your body is emitting a smell, an odor, that means that there is something within you that is not right.
So, Sam, can you agree with me that you think it's important for women like this to be taking the stand on, like, would you say that this is more the real feminist movement?
Yes, that's the thing, is this is the real feminist movement. And what you guys are seeing that has taken the front stage of everything is that toxic feminist movement shit.
Well, I think the radical feminist movement has actually gone beyond feminism, and its natural evolution was to turn itself into this woke
It's become a male supremacist group.
Absolutely.
Yeah, kind of.
Absolutely.
Much. Yeah. All right. Next, we have this 1-minute clip that you sent me, also of Pearl. So let's watch this.
So I'm going to say words that us as women should get rid of. In our
words that women should not say anymore, essentially, right?
Yeah.
vocabulary.
Oh my goodness.
And she's a woman, and she came up with this.
I'm looking for a connection, energy, trauma, toxic masculinity, my truth, healing, narcissism.
My truth. God, stop saying my truth. You know what I replaced that with? And it's actually true. it's my rationalization. Because they use that term to rationalize all kinds of weird shit.
A lot of people I think a lot of people have used it in its real meaning, like my truth, like this is the situation I'm in, and this is my reality right now, right? But then you've got a selected group of people that will say it and use it as an excuse for their bad behavior, like this is my truth. Oh, okay. So fucking 3 guys on the same night is your truth. That's your truth. You're living your truth.
They're using that term to rationalize that shit.
Right. You're trying to justify a irresponsible behavior with a spiritual saying in a way. And it's like you can see right through it.
Yeah.
Seriously.
All right, moving on.
Trauma, toxic masculinity, my truth, healing, narcissistic ex-boyfriend, abusive ex-boyfriend, grape accusation with no evidence, don't judge. Yeah, but manifesting equals I want to do no work and get the outcome. As a woman, I did too much and I let him walk all over me equals I like cheaters and toxic men and I will choose them and be toxic as well and not admit that I had any part to play except hashtag giving too much. Generational trauma. I make the same mistakes that my parents made and I'm too dumb to learn from their mistakes, and instead I will blame the same mistake and I will make the same mistake and blame it on them. In my feminine energy, men always stare and approach me. I will be submissive for the right man. Men are trash equals I take no accountability for the negative part that myself or any woman play in relationships. He needs to make 6 figures equals I have no emphasis on character. I don't need a man, but I want a man. My ring needs to cost
so many of those.
Words.
What?
So many of those.
Yeah.
Like,
wow.
But it's true. It's so true.
I don't disagree with any of them. Women should not say these things anymore.
How nuts was that, bro?
Yeah,
it's because those, you know what, at one point, every single one of those sayings or words had a very valid meaning behind it, but because people have they've taken their issues and labeled them, and those are their official traumas and stuff.
They used it like an umbrella.
Everything is trending and everything's a hashtag, and it happens to a lot more people than sometimes we like to understand. But then there's a lot of boys that cry wolf. There's a lot of girls that cry wolf. There's a lot of people that say that this is their experience or that this is what they're going through, but they've never really experienced it. They just need the attention and validation, and then it just really it cheapens it for the people that are really going through these valid experiences and need the support.
True. Very true.
100%.
I'll move on to the next one.
Yep, let me get there.
Yeah, sorry guys. I gave Joel all these videos.
Yeah, I'm just going tab by tab here. I don't know.
Right before the show. He hasn't seen any of these. These are just some shorts.
What's wrong with a regular guy that makes 40K? Okay.
Will it play?
Dislike arrogance and like humbleness. Want a life that is so extra and lavish. You want 6-figure man. You want a high value man and doing all this stuff. Why is it that everyone pretends like they hate arrogance, but then their standards are? Like, if we're being very honest, there's about, 10 of you here? Maybe 2 or 3 of you at best will get with a guy who makes 6 figures or more, because it's such a small percentage. By the numbers, it's probably impossible for all of you to get that. Yeah. So there is a bit of like an arrogance to that, where it's like, if you love humbleness so much, why don't you live a humble life? What's wrong with getting with a regular dude who's got a 401k, he makes 40K a year, maybe he's home at the end of the day, he takes care of the bills, you guys got a nice little house in the suburbs. Why is that not enough? I don't understand why there's all this talk about like, would I let my high value man cheat? I'm being honest with y'all, most of y'all not gonna get one. And that's not me trying to be
true. That's 100% true.
It's like there's such a small percentage. You think I'm gonna get a 9 out of 10? Why is it that all you ladies?
But do you see, men, we understand that, so we stick within our levels.
Yeah, men are more realistic than women when it comes.
I think my thing is if what you are like, the world has changed. Unfortunately, the reality of the single income household versus the 2 income household
doesn't work anymore.
Like if you want to be in a relationship that works, or at least has somewhat of a balance to it, whatever you're demanding of the other person, you got to bring that same energy and that same effort into the situation too. So if you're expecting your man to make $80,000 a year. Okay, what are you doing to earn $80,000 a year and put that into the household? Because,
You know what? Sorry, and I love that you said it that way, because most women would frame that exact thing you just said as, okay, he's bringing 80K. What are you doing to bring 80K? No, it's not bring 80K. It's earn your 80K.
Because listen, it's expensive. Everything's expensive. It's impossible to live without money. And if you are not generating some kind of income yourself, you are selfish as shit to expect that you're not. What are you providing in exchange of someone taking care of you? You know what I mean? Like if I had the ability to stay home and do what I wanted to do at home and be a homemaker when I was younger, man, that would have been amazing. It would have been amazing. But I was always taught that I have to work. I've always worked. I worked full time since I was 17 years old. Like, and I immediately went into the army. And then from the army, I worked full time. I had my kids. I worked full time. I went to school at the same time. Like, it was never an option for me. And so, like, what would I be willing to exchange in return? Because I know what my life is going to generate bill wise. So, you know what I mean? Like, you have to pay into it because that's not everyone's reality anymore.
Yeah. I mean, I had it in a situation with a girl that I lived with in the past, and, you know, we both worked, and, you know, I covered a little bit more than she did, but it was fine. And we both shared responsibilities. I didn't like to cook, but that was fine. So she cooked, and actually she was an amazing cook. But guess what? I wasn't a lazy dude. You think I just sat on the couch? No, I helped her out. And like, I consider that to be high value for today's standards. Like, we shared the responsibility, even though I took care of more. I don't know. It worked.
Like, I know there's people.
I actually think that speaks to a bigger problem in dating. What you were just saying, the man is bringing this value to the relationship. The woman's supposed to bring this value to the relationship to make it an equal partnership, right? Now, the problem is women have been taught for the last 30, 40, 50 years that they in themselves are the value. So they don't have to bring
but see,
that's
like,
and that's the fault. Sorry, that's the fault of people like freaking Steve Harvey and Derek Jackson and all these other men, Dr. Phil, that are out there preaching on daytime television.
Well, no. This is what I think it is. I think that the women that were taught that, they were taught the right like information, but they lack the other half of the teaching. So, you know, in a lot of conservative families or traditional families, they teach the gender roles amongst the boys and the girls, right? And so the girls are usually taught to, you know, keep the household up, know how to sew, know how to cook from scratch, know how to can foods,
it's harder to find a woman
today. It's a full-time job, right?
Yeah, but it's harder to find a woman that can sew today than
because they didn't get the full amount of training. They only got the verbal portion of it, but the family didn't follow through with teaching them the skills that come behind being a woman in the household. And the public school system completely stopped teaching it because they no longer wanted people in America to be self-sufficient in the home.
And the same thing is happening with men. You have a lot of single parent households where it's men raising children, boys by themselves, and the boys are growing up feminine. And I was lucky enough that I was surrounded by enough men in my life where I took influence from everybody, but I grew up with a single mother as well. My dad was there, but not, my dad's here more in my life now than he was as a kid. And he acknowledges that, but it's the same problem. It goes both ways for men and women. And honestly, I think parents need to take a lot more accountability for the way their kids are coming up.
Absolutely. Like, there's definitely a reason why I'm the way that I am, because my dad was not around. And so when I was growing up, I tended to lean more towards the masculine. I played sports. I was a tomboy because I was overcompensating for the lack of masculine presence in my life. Right. But nowadays, what you're seeing is a lot is now they're trying to push the transgender stuff.
Oh my God. Tell me
as a reasoning behind these little girls going through these masculine periods of their lives, but really it's because of fatherless in the home.
Yeah.
It's a complete.
agree,
It has
100%.
nothing to do with gender confusion, and it has to do with not having the appropriate example of the man and the woman in the household.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. That family dynamic. They took that. They're trying to destroy the family unit as a whole. And I honestly think
And we wonder why mental
the bigger
health,
picture.
mental illness is on the rise in America the way that it is.
All the women, I'm telling you, by the time they hit their 40s and they hit their wall and they're single with 5 cats and they're all on meds, that's exactly what they want.
Well, forget mental illness. We wonder why passport bros are becoming a thing. Right. Yeah.
Right.
All right, let's move on here. This one's from MLD, right? On the whatever podcast, or no?
I forgot what show.
The other podcast. This is the Valley Taming, I think.
I'm supposed to be beautiful
Yeah,
for my
you can
man.
cook
I'm
and
not
clean
supposed to
and
be
still
the slave.
You know, there's a beautiful girl that was on Valuetainment Money with us yesterday, and she was conflating cooking and cleaning with slavery as a wife.
She's been brainwashed.
And I was just like, baby, you are gorgeous, but you are dumb. Like, what are you talking about? Slavery? How is cooking or cleaning and taking care of the household and somebody you love slavery? If anything, you could argue that the man financially providing for a woman with the threat of divorce looming over his head, where you have to pay alimony and child support. Some states like Florida, I think the rest of your life, if you've been married for 10 years, right, for alimony. I don't understand how you couldn't call that slavery. But if I'm like, hey, babe, can you like make a sandwich and wash the dishes? She's like, oh, I'm so oppressed. It's ridiculous.
You're not cooking?
I agree with MLD 100%. By the way, that guy's YouTube channel is called Modern Life Dating. Go check him out. He's very, very good at what he does. I'm actually going to try to get him on the show here.
That'd be amazing.
Yeah. But response, I kind of agree with him.
Listen, if this is the standard you set when you first meet a girl, and this is the expectation you set when you're courting her, then I have no sympathy for you for the attitude that you receive in marriage. I don't, because
like as a man,
Yes.
And we
said I agree because this girl would never make it to date number 2.
No, we've said it a million times on this podcast. You as the man, you have to establish your expectations and your standards very, very early on.
Right. And if you entertain that and you think it's cute, then you know what you have coming to you through her and the relationship through her, you asked for it.
But think how many men are now not going to date that girl just because
whose fault is it?
It's hers.
Is it her fault because it's her behavior, or is it because that behavior was enabled by the men around her for so long that she got away with it for so long that now she's an adult woman who's acting like a brat?
But back to Melanie King's point, do you think maybe she was failed by her mother, not teaching her how to?
That's absolute. Yeah. But the thing is, you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make it drink. You can lovingly point out where she needs to heal and what she needs to fix. But if they're not trying to hear it, then she's just going to continue down that toxic path that she's on. And she's going to be one guy's problem after the next. And she's going to just dissolve each man into nothing as she just hits each one of them down. I think that is
so selfish that it's a man's responsibility to deal with a woman's emotions from past relationships.
No. The thing is if you see, it's your responsibility as a man that when you see those red flags, you do not invest any more of your time or energy into that person because they're showing you what you need to see very early. And if you choose to stick around, you are a glutton for punishment.
Agreed.
But if you see that, if you saw that on the first date,
the problem is men like me and Joelle will see that on the first date and dip. We don't have a problem like recognizing these red flags. There's a lot of guys out there that'll stay, and they stay because they don't live in abundance. They don't have any other options.
Right.
That's because men need to learn self-value. Okay, we talked a lot about women being in these fatherless homes, but men, there is a epidemic of men who have come from single parent households, single mother households that have so much trauma in relation to that that has been
Oh,
unaddressed.
Agreed. Do you know what I wasn't taught? I was never taught how to command respect from a woman.
I wasn't taught that either. I wasn't
never
taught that either,
that
Justin, but I was shown it by my father because my father demanded respect.
No, but I'm saying I was never put in a position to see that from a man because I grew up in a single mother home.
Now I have a question.
Yeah.
When you first saw a man in real life command respect, was it an intimidating or scary like experience for you when you first saw it?
No, you know what? Because I didn't see it. Like I said, I was blessed to see it in other places, and the first place I was able to see it was in my mother's parents, because my grandparents are still together, and my grandmother, she worked when she was younger, but dude, for the past like 30 or 40 years, my grandmother hasn't worked. She's always in the kitchen. And you know, my grandma calls me almost every weekend to try and get me to go over. Come on, I'll cook for you.
Is this the one that wanted you to go to Mexico to find a woman?
Yes. That's how she shows love to the family. She likes getting the family together and cooking and having everybody enjoy their meal. And my grandfather was always the strong head of household. And he's, literally the brick house that holds up the family. And that's how I learned.
That's the traditional conservative, like most Latino households are that way. You know what I mean?
Correct.
But it's something that you're starting to see less of in the younger generations because this new ideology and these new narratives and agendas have been pushed so hard on the younger generation.
Yeah. I mean, most women these days don't know how to cook.
Yeah, dude. Exactly. Like they can't do the things their grandmas used to do.
Nope. All right, Justin, what's this next clip?
I don't know. Let's press play.
Oh, Jesus Christ. I'm just playing around the videos.
Get some help.
A woman could literally be walking with her purse and something could fall out of her purse and a guy could be like, excuse me, ma'am, I got a boyfriend. Ma'am, I'm trying to, look, I have a boyfriend. You dropped something. Oh. That's why men don't talk to you.
Yeah.
Because you think everybody wants your rotten little box. So dudes do not talk to you. Because you cannot wait to reject a guy. It makes you feel so fucking good to reject somebody.
Honestly, I think that's really more of a mentality that you see in more like big city areas because there's such a volume. Like I remember walking down the street, going to the bus stop when I was in high school, and grown men would pull up their cars and try to talk to me. Like it I mean, I can see from your perspective how it could be really off-putting, but just from my experience, men treat you like dogs when you're walking down the fucking street.
Yeah, but you know what?
And it don't matter where you are.
It also doesn't work when you take the other approach and try and introduce yourself like a gentleman, because I've done it.
Right. It's
because guess what? Oh, he's so soft. This guy's so nice. I could probably walk all over this guy.
Right.
And I've done it myself. I've tried both different approaches. And at the end of the day, I don't know if it made it easier because women don't want to talk to you in one way. And they don't want to, if you're the guy hollering, hey, what's up, shorty? They don't want to talk to you like that. Nope. And they don't want to talk to you if you're the nice guy. So it's almost like they're making it easier because they do want to talk to you if you're the guy that they are attracted to.
Right.
Then you're not a creep.
No, if you're not good looking, then you're the creep.
If you just say hello, but you're ugly, you're a fucking creep. Yeah. But if you say hello and you're a 9 or a 10 high value man, and you just stepped out of your freaking Mercedes or Porsche, and now all of us, he just said hi to me, and then those eyelashes go flying away, and
I have such a distorted opinion because it's like I because of my time in service, I don't like being in public or at all, and I don't like being around like crowds or anything, you know. So when someone's trying to talk to me in public, Like, I'm not just dealing with the anxieties of it, like being a man trying to approach me, but I'm also dealing with like public anxieties as a veteran. And so it just makes it makes approaching me just that much more impossible.
I mean, I could only imagine what it's like, but I don't think it's right to
like
be.
I'm very standoffish, and a lot of women who have PTSD, not even just combat related PTSD, but women who have like sexual trauma PTSD or like childhood PTSD.
But that's pretty much the point of that
It is
video. Like, there's a
extremely
lot
hard
of standoffish women.
It's extremely hard to approach women these days because I mean I think it's hard to approach people at all these days because you never know what you're walking into right now.
Not if you
It's
have
so
a Harley.
hard that men don't do it anymore.
I
Men
will
don't-
say that it's not hard to approach people if you got a Harley.
Well, no, of course not.
If you have
and it's not hard to get approached if you have a Harley either. All right, let's keep it rolling here.
Makes you feel wonderful to tell a guy, now, got these chicks that'll be on Instagram with the yams. I'm talking about the yams is ridiculous. Even if I was a single guy, I would not shoot my shot.
And you know what's funny? I'm
that?
a model. I'm a model. I do photography, but I'm a married woman. Okay. And my husband is so secure, and I'm so transparent and like honest with him and stuff about like what I'm taking photos for or where I'm gonna go and who's running the event, that he is so like comfortable with the stuff that I post on my Instagram that it's never been an issue in our relationship whatsoever. So it's like I get the perspective, but I'm very fortunate to be with somebody that supports me in my modeling and my tattoo modeling, and because I've dealt with a man in the past who knew what I wanted to pursue and knew what my interests were, and he did everything in his power to prevent me from wanting to pursue it. And he was supposed to love me, even though he knew this is exactly what I wanted in life. And to be with somebody that supports me in the things that I want to do and isn't threatened by that is such an amazing position to be in a relationship.
Sam, I got to put this out there. You totally fit the bill to be like a typical woman that we would rag on for doing that. But you
absolutely,
you get the pass because you're married. And
I never said she got a pass. Justin.
No. I'm
like
saying,
one of my favorite.
I'm not saying
like
she gets a pass.
Example is
I'm not saying she gets a straight pass, but she got through.
You
and
guys
found
know
a
who
husband.
Ice-T and Coco are, right?
Yeah, they live right by me.
Like everybody loves Ice-T and Coco, and everybody knows Coco is fucking dope as shit, and she's known for some of the sickest fucking centerfolds in Show magazine, and like she's such a popular model. But everybody knows that that's fucking Ice-T's girl, and nobody ever tries to pursue her, but everybody still enjoys looking at her. You know what I mean? Like, I love Ice-T and Coco.
I know who Ice-T is. All right, Jay
Coco's
Blaze
his
with
wife.
a comment. Oh, okay. I'll look her up at some point. Jay Blaze comments: if a woman was rejected by an attractive guy, she will be vindictive with the rejection to boost her ego back up.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
There was a video out there recently where there's a guy. He's like, "Would you make out with a virgin?" He's asking the girl, and she's like, "Yeah, I'll make out with him right now." And the guy's like, "No, I'm talking to some girl over there." And then after the guy goes away, she starts telling her girlfriends like, "Oh, he thought he was the shit. Like he thinks he could get it anyway. Like, blah, blah, like."
Yeah, it was her defense.
Yeah, of course.
It was her defense mechanism.
Of course. Women can never admit to themselves that it was they who caused the rejection. He has some people outside factors.
They can't handle rejection.
No, they can't. Absolutely not.
Let's see
All right,
what this guy's
let's
saying.
move on to.
What is he saying still?
No, we're on to the next one now.
On to the next?
Yeah.
Let's do it.
Have you seen the trend of women filming men subtly looking at them?
Oh, this
it's absolutely insane. If I was a man, I would just go to an all-male gym. If a man checks me out in the gym, I'm just gonna smile back. Or if I don't like him, I'm just gonna move away. I'm not gonna whip out my iPhone and then blast him on social media. It's like Me Too gone mad, gone crazy. But it's funny because I'm actually seeing the repercussions of this. I saw another video go viral of a girl doing a squat with the rack, and she's stuck in that position, and she
I saw that.
helping her. I'm not isn't going to risk everybody laughing at him and calling him a creep by actually going over to help her. Well, these are now the repercussions, because when a woman actually does need help, men won't help because they're terrified of being blasted on social media for sexual harassment. And if I was a man, I wouldn't do it either. I'd stay away from these women. They're crazy. Have you seen?
Now, I did see that video, and I will say I'm pretty sure it was staged.
And
So-
a lot of them do
Yeah.
stage those little. It's
But-
like they're trying to catch,
yeah.
and they've even
Have you
seen like
Of
they
women
posted,
filming men.
they
But it does
posted
prove an interesting
videos
point.
of like them blowing up on these guys, and it even shows in the videos that the guys were never even looking at them in the first place, and it
Right.
just makes them look like idiots in the end. At the end of the
No,
day,
yeah, and the way they edit the videos, you know, they put it in slow motion, with just when the guy glances over, and he could be looking that way, but they took it to where he was over here, where his head was turning. Now the guy looks like an absolute creep.
right.
Yeah.
I mean, and people are smart. They know how to create perception when
of
they're
course.
recording
Of
videos.
course.
No, and
You know,
today,
they
these
know how to
girls-
record
these
things
girls
to
with these
sway an
TikToks.
opinion.
Yeah, these girls with these TikToks, they do like half a minute.
And what sucks is when you cry wolf like that, and you're an
Mhm.
actual woman going there to just work out, and you have to deal with a real life creep, someone that's like really fucking creeping on you.
Yep.
Now
they're
no
not
one's gonna
listen to you.
believe you because you
Yeah.
got all these like gym bunnies fucking
Yep.
crying wolf.
Yep.
Seriously.
100%.
There's some more videos out there, Joel.
Dude, we have like 20 more.
Yeah.
We don't, but
This is an awesome. I actually like doing reactions.
I like it too. But damn, dude.
Well, a lot of them are clips.
Yeah,
They're short.
let's try this one by Pearl.
Women divorce men 70 to 80% of the time. I would argue in relationships it's probably similar. Men aren't leaving, women are. So to a guy's point of view, he's going to commit to this girl. And what does he get? He doesn't get purity anymore. You know, these hoes. You know, he doesn't get youth anymore. So he doesn't get either of those things. A lot of times she already has a kid. So he's not fulfilling his mating strategy. On top of that, even if he does find a good woman that maybe has the qualities he's looking for, she was going to want him to marry her. And what does he get out of that? Oh, she can leave and take half and take my kid. And she's paid to take my kids away from me. She gets more money if she takes my children. And so from the men's point of view, they're just kind of like, F it, because like women aren't wives nowadays. And what do they get out of it?
But
like
you know,
men are logical. They're logical people. And so they're thinking, does the benefit outweigh the cost? And like, I just think as women, we have to look at ourselves and say, the benefits we bring nowadays don't outweigh the cost for most men. Women.
You know, that's a pretty rational argument, but I hate that they put that music behind it. 'cause
Yeah,
makes
it
sound
sounds
like
so
victims.
sad.
Yeah,
For real.
Like a humane
it's not a
society
victimhood
commercial or
statement.
some shit.
For real.
Yeah, it's not a victimhood statement. It's a rational statement.
Serious.
Anyway, but yeah, she's absolutely right. I think men are being left holding the bag in most of these relationships, not only marriages.
I'll keep it moving.
Yep.
Oh, this is what I wanted you guys to see before, because we were talking about the whole transgender thing.
Oh, God. This is the wokeness.
Let me say this. I don't have a problem with the trans community at all, but this shit is getting ridiculous. If you say as a trans woman, you want to be called her, she, whatever you decide, even though you are a trans woman, if you want to be called her, she, fine, I'm going to respect that, and I'm gonna do that. So me as a woman, if I say don't call me a cis woman, I'm just a woman. You should respect that. I'm not no motherfucking birthing person. I'm not a chest feeder. I'm not a bleeder. I'm a fucking woman. And that's what
Haven't
the fuck
y'all
you're gonna
noticed?
refer to me.
Haven't y'all noticed that this year how many biological men they've like awarded awards to?
Yeah, it's insane.
For women.
Hey, hang on,
Like,
a shout out.
how are the feminists not flipping
This
out?
is the
A shout
thing.
out.
The
A
real
shout out today.
feminists, the
A
real
shout out today.
feminists, like the
Hang on,
women
Sam,
that.
sorry.
Hang on one second, Sam.
Hang on, because today I got to give a shout out to the World Athletic Council because they officially banned non-biological females from female sports.
Yes. Yes.
Yes, that happened today. Sorry, Sam, go ahead.
That's a win for women. That's a win
That's
for
a
little
win for
girls, dude.
humanity. Jeez.
I grew up, I played high school volleyball and basketball. I hit 6'2" at 14 years old,
Dang.
and I played my first 2 years in college. I played basketball and volleyball. And to see how hard women have worked to get where they are in the sports world, and just to see the last 2-3 years men come in and just destroy everything.
All these records.
It really is. This is the thing. It's been hijacked by the homosexual men movement.
Dude,
because
they're hacking
that's who
schools.
it is.
They're hacking womanhood. They're hacking dating apps.
It's not these women going into male sports. That you don't see women doing all this crazy shit. It's the biological gay men who are now trans that are fucking flipping everything upside down on its head. And it's because the gay men want everything their way.
And I love the fact that it further proves the argument that men and women are fucking not equal. We're not.
No.
And that's okay. They can't accept that is okay.
Yeah.
But men also, we cannot do the shit that women can do, and we're okay with that.
No, we can't. All right, moving on, damn it. Before I get in. This next one you sent, I don't know where you wanted it, but this is where it came up. Again, it's MLD on the Valuetainment podcast.
So then how much money you bringing to the table? Are you making $200,000 a year, 300, 400, 500 for their dream guy?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So again, it's like I said, I'm not trying to sound like one of these internet nerds. He's like, you know, these dudes that get on the internet and cry and stuff. That's just not me. What all I am saying is like, when you look at what we're talking about, and then this clip actually is going viral of me and you right now on my Instagram. When I say like they want totalitarianism, I'm not crazy. Like I said that before when we were on with the last time we were on together in January. And I said they want totalitarianism. They want to go out, party whenever they want to party. They want you to pay for it. They want you staying at home, being a good little boy, waiting for them while they're partying. You can't say anything about girls' night out. You can't say anything about girls' trip to Mexico. So they just want totalitarianism over men. And guys are just like, no, I have a backbone. I'm not going to tolerate this. You know, even the guys go into.
I wouldn't say they want totalitarianism. I would say they want socialism. And when you realize that socialism is for the people, not for the socialists, that's when they become socialists themselves.
In town, the black guys are just walking away from women entirely. Like these chicks got to get their acts together because, I mean, you know, no man is rushing out to save an insufferable woman with a bad attitude. You know what I mean? And the streets are cold. Like these girls, are, like the future is real when they're saying like projections of being single and people being alone, dying alone and stuff. Like that's not something I want, man or woman. I don't think anybody wants that, but that's the path they're heading down.
Yeah, we showed a video.
100%.
Yeah, man.
100%. John, shout out from MLD, Modern Life Dating. I am going to reach out to him and see if we can get him on the pod. Any thoughts on that, Samantha?
As far as what he was talking about?
Yeah, women being in relationships, just still wanting to run in the relationships and operate like they're still single.
Well, yeah, I don't think that. I mean, it just what social construct of relationship are we talking about? Are we talking about what society is deeming as acceptable behavior as someone in a relationship, or are we talking about traditional
I'm saying
male
like
female?
You're in a relationship, but you know, like the girls don't want you doing your thing with the guys, but they still want to go out to the club with their girls. They still want to take girls trips. They still want to put up Instagram pictures half naked.
And if you're secure in your relationship and there's boundaries and honesty and transparency, then I have no issue with if my husband wants to go on a weekend camping trip with the boys, or if he's got an airsoft gun match that he's going to go to, or do it, because honestly, you're going to have more fun without me around your dudes. I understand, having been in the military, that there is a such thing as locker room talk, and you're not going to speak as freely when I'm there maybe than if I wasn't there. And there's going to be times where I want to do shit that you aren't going to want to partake in too. And so it's okay to have that individual time apart.
I agree. Women need that time too. But when you guys go out, why can't you guys do what we do? Why can't you go for a hike? Go to the gym?
And there's shit you do together.
We're talking strictly about the girls that still have the need to go to the club where single men go to pick up and hunt for women.
And I think it boils down to those particular women are starving for that type of attention. They may not get that lustful attention from home, or they may not know how to turn on that lustful sexuality at home between them and their man, and it just feels more familiar being a stranger and doing that somewhere where nobody knows you and you can turn that sex kitten on. You know what I mean? Whatever the case is, you should be able to do that at home or with your spouse as well.
That's what we're saying.
Yeah. All right, this is the J&J Dating Dynamics podcast. We are at an hour and 20 minutes, so we are going to do one more video, and then we're going to wrap things up. Yes, one more, Justin. But if you haven't yet.
I had a lot of good ones. Everything I said
we've been through all of them.
Was amazing.
Yeah, we've been through all of them. We're going to do one last one.
No, I got like 50 more.
No,
I'm joking.
But if you haven't yet, go ahead and hit that like button, even though Justin wants to keep us here for 7 hours. Thank you, Samantha, for joining us. And this is episode 29. What the fuck did she say? That's the title of this episode. All right, let's go ahead and watch this last one. Justin, I believe you time stamped it at 2 hours and 38 minutes. Is that correct?
Yeah, 2 hours.
All right, and this is the Whatever podcast, and this should be a fun one. Judging by the title, this should be interesting. So let me bring it up. Share screen.
Yeah, I was like super prepared for tonight. I also had like 30 questions for Sam, but I was like, you know what? Maybe we'll hold off for another episode.
Yeah. Jay, before we play the video, Jay Blaze says, hanging out with the bros also boosts testosterone.
It's good for men too. It's good for men to have their tribe.
Yeah.
It's amazing for women to have their tribe.
We need a tribe.
Right. It's a natural thing to want to do, is to be with those like you, you know, and you feed off of each other. It's healthy.
Yeah. Look at this girl, dude. She's wearing a bra.
Which one?
This one.
On the right?
Here, yeah, on the right.
Yeah.
All right, let's play this.
If you want to go out to the bar, that's fine. I don't. I will tell you this: if it wasn't for my body count, I don't go out to bars. I don't talk to other dudes, obviously, because I'm in recovery. Everything I am is like technically a submissive traditional woman.
You're not a traditional woman.
Well, not traditional. But
Well,
submissive.
okay, yes, you did preemptively say besides my body count.
That's what I'm saying. So
that's pretty much the whole thing.
You know, but because that's why I'm saying men's standards are like a little bit too high.
Men's standards are too high.
You were caring about like stuff like body count. You know what I mean?
Wait, so you think it's wrong for men to care about body count?
If it depends on I will say.
It is absolutely correct for men to care about. We've been over this.
Yeah, but did you guys hear what she said? Did you hear what she said? She said, besides my body count.
Yeah, exactly. I'm curious to know what the hell her body count is.
I'll tell you right now. Can you take a guess?
130?
100. You were so close. You watched
it's on the fucking title.
Oh, it's on there. I can't see it. It's covered. But 136 bodies.
But she comes from the generation of young females that were taught that
she was actually a sex addict.
Free was okay, and it was expressive and shit. And you know what I mean? Like, it sucks because there are a lot of girls like her that think that having those soul ties, having those physical connections with just random energies and random people isn't going to have an effect on you in the long run. Absolutely, it's going to.
And I don't know if I believe that she was a sex addict, Justin. I think that's just her truth, her way to rationalize being a slut.
That girl talked so much that somebody even commented to Brian and was like, Brian, why are you letting her talk so much? Take control of your podcast.
Let me finish watching this thing, because this is actually kind of interesting.
Say this. It depends on the way you carry yourself, right?
No.
Like, it depends on the context of the situation. Like, if I used to run around my old restaurant and throw it out there, you know, I got OnlyFans, fuck these men, I don't give a shit what.
For the streets.
Yeah, exactly. I was for the streets. Like, no man wanted anything to do with me. And that
no man wants anything to do with it.
This was a very good episode. I watched it. It was super long. Do you see the girl, the couple right there with the red hair and the guy next to her?
He looks like a fucking doll.
She's actually like a porn girl. You could find her on like she's on OnlyFans. She's all over Pornhub, and that's her boyfriend. And they live out of a car. And people were ripping that guy a new one because he lets his girl do that, and he doesn't like it, but he lets it happen. And it's
because he benefits from it. He allows it to happen because he's capitalizing on it.
Is he
And
really?
he
If they're
has
living
to
out of a
do-
car, though.
He doesn't have to do his job as a man to provide for that girl. He's using her and her ability to have sex for money to support himself.
The whole entire time that I was watching this episode, I was like, this is just a sad ass dude.
Yeah, it looks like it. But I mean,
He
is he
looks
really
like a
benefiting
fucking
from
creep.
it, though? Samantha, is he really benefiting from it when they're living out of a car?
If that's the quality of life that he is okay with, then absolutely. If he thinks that he's better off sleeping in a car than
Getting a job?
working a 9 to 5 to have an
Yeah.
apartment, then absolutely he believes he's benefiting from it.
And his argument was like, no, but I bring in money. I bring in, $1,000, sometimes $2,000 a month selling. Bro, get your shit
Congratulations,
together,
you make
bro.
18
That's
to
some
24,000 a year.
beta male bullshit, dude.
That is not even a beta man. That's not even a beta man. I don't even know what you would call that, bro. Seriously.
You call that a pussy?
Yeah.
Seriously.
Yeah.
All right.
Stance, absolutely. Like, I would totally understand why a guy would discriminate against me if it were for my body count. But if it was like I was recovering or, whatever the case may be, some women I know try to find me a recovered drug addict that hasn't done sex work, because in today's day and age, especially when the drugs are so strong, it is like we are selling our lives for our drugs. There's no.
So she's a recovering sex addict, apparently also a recovering drug addict. And she's got 130 plus, and she's wondering why men don't find her attractive. That's the thing?
Yeah, seriously.
You're
we don't
reading
even have to go on with this. I just wanted to show you that one part.
But
where
you know
she's like,
what? She honestly, when she was first grabbed a hold by the industry, she was probably very cute. She had that young little girl appeal, and
no, the girl in the pink,
the industry just ran through her ass, and
Sam.
now she's a young adult, like left picking up the fucking pieces of the
Sam,
shit.
the girl in pink wasn't involved in the industry.
She was just a fast ass.
She was just a slut.
If you watch this interview, I believe she said that she brought home, I can't remember, I think it was 6 men that she brought home in one day.
Oh my goodness.
Wait a minute. Is that the one? Did you send me that screenshot? Hang on.
Now was she hooking? Like, was she doing it for money because she needed to pay bills, or she just wanted to fuck 6 guys?
She was addicted to sex.
Damn.
Did you
And that
send me a
has to
screenshot
stem
of
from
her,
trauma.
Justin?
There has to be something at a very young
Yeah,
age
she
that triggered
explains
it
her
all.
whole story in there. She explains the whole story.
And that sucks, because it's like you're watching all this child sex trafficking shit and all these conversations going on about these kids and stuff going on. And that's exactly the result of what happens to these young kids that are being just chewed up.
Yeah, she said she started
Justin,
watching porn at a very young age.
Is this her? And did you send this to me?
No.
No?
No.
And my camera just for okay. Yeah, because I got this thing. I don't remember if I took it, like some fat girl. Somebody sent me this, and then the poll says, how many dicks did I take at Secrets?
Oh,
the correct answer
what
is
the
6.
Hell?
The thing is unfortunately, there is an entire demographic of men that are shoveling over credit card numbers to subscribe to that exact same type of content because they get off on the shit.
Yes, they do. And you
So
know
it's
what?
like for every one of her, there's like 1,000 dudes that are fucking
that are looking
enabling
for her.
it.
Yep, absolutely.
Well,
and that's the 80% of men that are invisible to women. They're the ones that have to resort to this nonsense.
Absolutely.
And
Those are the ones that are not able to approach women in public and shit.
Those are the men who we're trying to reach.
Absolutely.
Literally.
Absolutely.
And
with that, I hope we've done that today. But this is the J&J Dating Dynamics Podcast, episode 29. Justin, give me your final thoughts, buddy.
My final thoughts. Oof, there's just
We
too
covered
many.
a lot, but go
We
ahead.
covered a lot tonight. Tonight was an awesome episode. First off, I want to thank Samantha for coming on.
Yep.
Samantha, did you have anything that you wanted to plug?
Yeah, your Instagram, your business.
My Instagram is Samantha Sequoia Photography. I do photography and modeling for print publication. A lot of tattoo modeling.
I did put that in the scroll and the ticker down there. So if you guys are interested, check it out right down there.
Thank you. And yeah, honestly, I think a lot of these issues can be resolved. We really just got to keep having the dialogue, because the more it's talked about, the more comfortable people will be with bringing this stuff up and actually spearheading it and starting to affect positive change. But until we get comfortable in these conversations, we're not going to see any change. But we got to keep talking about it.
Absolutely.
Seriously.
Jay Blaze puts on the chat, all it really takes is a little bit of effort and you're in the top 20%. That's true, 100%. It doesn't take that much.
Seriously.
Yeah.
But I definitely want to say, to touch on Sam's point and to add to the final thoughts, seriously, I think more conversations need to be had, and I think it's going to take more women talking about this, which is why I'm so happy Sam came on, because I really appreciated her perspective on things, and we need more women to talk to women, and it's going to take that to really change things.
It's going to take that, and it's going to take men finally taking a stand and stop pedestalizing every single woman.
And we need those guys, like the guy that was enabling his girl to do porn and OnlyFans.
Yeah, exactly.
We need men to stand up and reclaim their positions as men in our society.
We need masculinity back.
We need women to humble themselves and take a seat when they need to take a seat, because our society is a reflection of what toxic feminism has created over the last 30-40 years. And so we need to humble ourselves and learn how to take a step back when we need to. And we really need to start talking about these really uncomfortable truths and try to address this stuff out of love and not attack each other, but just trying to help each other, see things that we were not taught, that we should have been taught. And now we're trying to teach ourselves. Now that we know what right looks right and what better is, we need to start doing the adjustments ourselves.
Very nice. And with that, we are going to go ahead and close it out. Thank you so much for joining us, Samantha. You are always going to be welcome back on the show, as long as you turn your camera on next time.
Absolutely. I'll have my setup all ready.
Because we got to see some of these tattoos. I mean, you
absolutely.
talked about
I'll get them ready for you guys.
All right. Justin, thank you, my friend, for coming over, for co-hosting the show as always. Next week, we probably won't have a show next week, but we'll confirm throughout the week on Instagram. I have a engagement thing that I need to be at, but I will try to make it. So if not, Justin's going to do it all by his lonesome. But that's going to do it tonight. Have a good one, everybody.
You got it. Take care, Sam. We'll be in touch.
Bye.
I'm